What's going on, guys? Jeff here, Mad Hatter's Reef, and today we got a brand new video for you. We're going to be taking a look at the top 10 Acropora, which is my wish list for a future reef tank, maybe even this one. Welcome back to Mad Hatter's Reef. This is where I talk about everything reef tank related. So if you love reef tanks like I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Today we got a brand new video for you. We're going to be taking a look at the top 10 Acropora. So let's jump into it. I wanted to take a second to tell you guys about a giveaway that I'm doing this month on the channel, and all you need to do to enter this giveaway is be a subscriber of Mad Hatter's Reef, hit the like button on this video, and leave a comment down below. Now, I upload a video every week, so that's going to give you multiple chances to enter this giveaway, and make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Now, this month we're giving away a Lifeguard Turbo Reactor to one lucky subscriber to the channel. And that's just my way of saying thank you for subbing, watching the videos, hitting the like buttons, all the support. Thank you. And hopefully we can keep doing this giveaway thing here on the channel. Now, it's always fun to get new corals and add something to the reef tank. And for me, part of the process of adding new corals is doing research and kind of putting together a list of what I would like to have in the tank. I don't go willy-nilly when I'm ordering corals. I usually have a plan. And in today's video, what I want to do is take a look at the top 10 Acroporas that I want for my reef tank. Whether it's the water box or some future build, these are all part of my wish list and some of the most beautiful Acroporas in the game. So let's take a look. Kicking things off with number 10, we have the Worldwide Corals Striptease Acropora. Now, to kind of put things in perspective for you on this list, I wasn't going after the most expensive corals out there. That wasn't what I was shooting for. What I was looking for is corals that I would want to keep in a reef tank. And this one does come packing a punch as far as price goes. And on the website, worldwidecorals.com, you actually can find this coral for $170 for a frag, which to me is a little expensive, but I have seen it listed on eBay, and typically it can go from anywhere from $40 to $100 per frag, which is a little bit more feasible, especially when you're talking about one very small frag. For me personally, I think that this is an absolutely beautiful coral. I like the base color of the teal with the purple, and then it kind of, as you get to the polyp, you have that little bit of pink, and then the darker polyps. Absolutely beautiful acro. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but like I said, you can find it on eBay, listed by Worldwide Corals, typically for a sale, and definitely a beautiful addition to any reef tank. Next up, we got number 9, and the acro that's coming in for the number 9 spot is the Pantera Rosa Acropora. Now, this one I found at a number of different websites and found that it is pretty pricey, but definitely varies from site to site, coming in anywhere from $225 per frag all the way down to $150, which seems a little bit more reasonable. And as far as the colorations on this, I found a lot of different variations. This is probably the most true-to-life coloration that I could find as far as photos go, but there are some pretty vivid pictures out there where you got greens, you got hot pinks, and even in this photo right here, you almost see that light blue coloration where that new growth is happening. Absolutely amazing coral, and this is actually a tabling acro. So typically with a tabling acro, you're going to pay a little bit more money. That's probably why you're seeing that high price point with this coral. Coming in at number 8 on our top 10 wish list Acroporas is the Snowdrop Acropora. Now, this is actually a coral that I've had in the past. I had it in the 220 gallon, went out, got it. I think I got it on a live sale through Worldwide Corals, and I think it was on Reef to Reef. Can't really, I think that's how I got it. And I actually got a really good deal on this coral, but the price has dropped over the last couple of years. When I first was chasing this coral, because I found it relatively early, this is a tabling acro, and the plan for the 220 gallon when I was going through the planning stage was to have a bunch of tabling acros, and I found this one, absolutely fell in love with it.
and eventually got it at a really good price. I think it was around $40 that I paid for it, and I got a really meaty frag too. So I was pretty happy about. As far as price point nowadays, it's gone down quite a bit, and you can find this coral from $100 to $150 per frag, which for a tabling acro is a really good price. Sadly, I lost this coral when I had my bout of rapid tissue necrosis in the 220 gallon. I do have a video on that. If you guys want to check that out, there is a link to it in the description below. But this coral is absolutely stunning. It has pinks, has blues, has some crazy polyp extension and tabling feature, which is just absolutely stunning to me. Great addition to our reef tank. Check it out. Coming in at number 7, we have another Worldwide Corals exclusive. We got the Nightrider Acro. Now, this is a absolute beautiful coral. I love the purple base, and then it almost goes to a darker blue, and then that teal tips. It's just absolutely stunning. As far as price point goes, there's not a lot of variations out there. Really, the only one that I could find was a couple articles supporting this coming from Worldwide Corals. But the listing, as far as if you wanted to go out and buy one today, the only one I could find was actually through Worldwide Corals, and this guy's selling for $100 per frag. But I did jump over to their eBay listings, and I do believe they actually have a listing for this Acropora on their eBay listings this weekend, which is going to end, what is it, Sunday or Monday night? I think it's Monday night their listings end. So if you want to go out and get yourself a Nightrider Acropora, they got one listed over there. And usually if you can get the corals from Worldwide Corals on eBay, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. The one thing I would mention is that when you are buying those corals, typically they're not the most meaty frag out there. They're usually pretty small frags. But if you can grow that coral out, that is a absolute great way to save some money and get the coral that you're looking for. Coming in at number 6 on our top 10 acro list is the Christmas Mirabilis. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I know that there are those of you out there that will love to correct me in the comment section down below, so feel free to do so now. I'll wait. And we're back. All right, so this is a Acropora that I absolutely love and have been chasing for a very long time. Now, the reason I say chasing is because I've been trying to get that deal on this guy, and I haven't wanted to pull the full price trigger yet on it, but I have been chasing it on eBay for a long time and have yet to actually grab this guy. Now, as far as price goes with this coral, it is absolutely all over the place. I've seen it as high as $200+ on Worldwide Corals website, and have seen it as little as $80 on some other sites. Now, all you need to do to find these websites is just Google. I'll put a list of all these corals down in the description below, and check out the Google results, and you'll find some pretty good deals on it. But I'm trying to get a good price on this coral because I'm a little standoffish with the tabling acros, but hopefully someday I can get this guy in one of my reef tanks. Coming in at number 5 on our top 10 acro list is the Optimus Prime Acropora from Top Shelf Aquatics. Now, as far as the coloration on this coral goes, this photo really doesn't do it justice. And it's probably one of the most stunning. I really should have found a better photo. But check it out. The Optimus Prime Acro is phenomenal. It's almost as pretty as a Walt Disney. And it comes at a pretty heavy price point. I've seen $300 per frag all the way down to $150, which that's why this is a wish list coral, not necessarily one that is already in the reef tank, because that's a lot of money when it comes down to it. And I'm not really willing to gamble with this coral being successful and, you know, living a long life. The thing to keep in mind, though, is if you can have this coral and it grow and you be able to produce more frags of it, that's a pretty good payday. You're going to make your money back pretty quick with this guy. But typically when things start getting aquacultured and there's more availability of a coral, the price is going to go down over time. But, you know, maybe even if it went down 50% and you sold 3 frags, you make your money back, right? Coming in at number 4 on the top 10 acro list is the Cookie Monster Acro from Worldwide Corals. This is one of my most favorite acros on the face of this earth. and the coloration isn't enough to hold you. The name should be I love me some Cookie Monster. Now there's a couple things that make this guy hard to find, and I think it's a very slow growing Acropora. I found, as far as price point goes, typically it's around $80 per frag, which in consideration with the other corals on this list, this is probably the most wallet friendly acro on the list. Now as far as the polyp extension goes on this guy, it can get pretty fuzzy, which I've seen in some pics online. I had this coral in the 220 gallon, and this was actually one of the corals that went up in smoke due to my repetition necrosis, but it is a absolute beautiful coral, and I don't know for me if it's the name or the coral or the combination of the two that attracts me to this coral, but hands down one of my most favorite Acroporas on this list. Coming in at number 3 on our top 10 acro list is the Haymaker Acropora from Top Shelf Aquatics. Now, I had no idea what the price point was when I kind of found this coral, and I'm not going to get into that just yet. But as far as coloration goes, now if you took this coral and the Optimus Prime or even a Walt Disney and put them together, it would be almost the exact opposite, where in a lot of the Walt Disney or the Optimus Prime, all the coloration is in the base of the coral, not so much the polyps. This is the exact opposite with the Haymaker. The Haymaker is almost this light blue sky color in the base, and all of the color is in the polyps, which is absolutely amazing. It almost looks like this icy torch that is on fire. Now, I can only imagine how amazing it would be to have a Walt Disney and a Haymaker right next to each other, which would just be absolutely stunning in a reef tank. Now, as far as price point goes on this bad boy, this one goes for $700 per frag. Ouch. Coming in at number 2 on our top 10 Acroporas is the Bill Murray Acropora from Top Shelf Aquatics. Now, what I absolutely love about this coral is it reminds me of a beautiful green gold carpet from the 70s. And I don't know if that is the inspiration for its name, being the Bill Murray Acro, but this is an absolute beautiful coral. I love the green base and almost this gold coloration in the base as it gets closer to the tips. And then those dark, like maroon polyps, just absolutely beautiful. Now, as far as the growth pattern on this coral, I couldn't really find a lot of photos on it, but ultimately, price point on this guy, a little higher end. I found it for $250, I believe, through Top Shelf Aquatics. So that's their typical asking price. I'm sure there's sales that happen from time to time, which you'll be able to pick this guy up for a little bit of a bargain. But as far as coloration goes, we're living in the world of greens and golds, and having it mixed together with maroon polyps, this is a absolute stunner. And coming in at the number 1 spot on our list is the Walt Disney Acro. Now, when this coral first hit the scene, it was probably one of the most sought-after Acroporas on the market, and it brought a huge payday, anywhere from $8,000 to $1,000 per frag. And through the power of aquaculture, the price has come down substantially. Now, just a couple months ago, I was actually at a show and got to see one in person, and it almost didn't even look real to me. It was just absolutely beautiful. The coloration is crazy. Obviously, you have to crank those blues way up to get some of those colors to pulp like they do. But in person, this is a absolute breathtaking coral. The price point has become much more achievable over the last couple of years. You can find them from anywhere from $200 to $150, which is an absolute steal, especially considering years ago, people were paying $800 per frag for this coral.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that I do this, every time that I upload a video for you. And don't forget about the giveaway, because if you've already subbed and you've hit the like button, all you need to do is leave a comment down below. Tell me what is your favorite Acropora that I talked about on today's list, or just let me know what you think about the video. That's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week right here for a brand new video on the reef tank hobby.